I hope you're good. I hope you're great. I hope you're having a lovely day. For some reason, I miss talking to you guys. I hope you guys miss listening to me. We don't have too many news today, but what we do have, we will get through. So, without further ado, let's do what it do. I didn't mean to rhyme. It's just that I rhyme all the time. So, I came across something during the week that I thought was kind of strange, but conspiracy theorist-esque, if that makes sense. We all know there's a war in Russia and Ukraine, and that they're fighting, and all that jazz. I want to dive into something a little bit more specific, and that is this pipeline that transports natural gas. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nord as in Nord. There's Nord 1 and there's Nord 2. These pipelines have been blown up, but no one knows by who. The first time this came out, everyone thought it was Russia. But with further investigations, people were like, it doesn't make sense for it to be like Russia, because Russia just wouldn't have the motive. If Russia blew up these pipelines, it would be to their disadvantage. And just for context, the natural gas comes from Russia, then it goes to Germany, and then Germany will distribute it around Europe. Now, it doesn't make sense for Russia to blow these up because that's how they make money. And they still have the ability to sell their natural gas because it hasn't been sanctioned. Now, everyone is trying to figure out who blew up these pipelines. Reason being, Europe still needs these pipelines, and blowing these pipelines would mean that you're purposefully trying to put a majority of Europe in danger, or not in danger, but you're trying to cripple them in a way. So these pipelines are supposed to be off limits, but there are many theories out there, many hypotheses. Is that how hypothesize? I don't know what's the plural of hypothesis. But regardless, many people speculate that it's actually the USA that blew up these pipelines. But let's talk about why would the US do this? The thing is, with this whole investigation, and people suspect the US being the culprits because they would have the most to gain from blowing up these pipelines. What would they have to gain, you may ask? Well, the US has not been shy to show that they are on the side of Ukraine, and they side with Ukraine, with giving them money, and now maybe running off the books operations, secret missions. We don't know exactly, but we know that the US and the Ukraine are together, and they have made it public with no shame. On top of that, the US also exports natural gas, but in liquid form. The liquid form of the natural gas is just the natural gas that's just been cooled down so much that the gas turns into a liquid. And lastly, if those Nord Stream pipes are blown up and out of the picture, this means that this reduces the whole of Europe's dependence on the Russian gas. Therefore, which would mean Europe as a whole would not need Russia and would find new sources of natural gas imports. So that's everything the US gains from having these pipelines blown up. But with so much to gain, why hide the fact that the US has blown up these pipes? Well, firstly, you don't want to show Europe that you're trying to cut off their main source of natural gas. And Germany makes a lot of money from natural gas, so you don't want to make an enemy out of Germany. You know what happened the last time people pissed off Germany? World War I and World War II. But I don't want to speak about that right now. And on top of that, and facing counter sanctions from the European Commission. So that's why you want to kind of keep this a secret. And on top of that, you actually want this pipeline gone. So essentially, what people are hypothesizing is that the USA threw a rock, hit someone, and hit their hands behind their backs. None of this is concrete. Investigation is still ongoing, but I thought that we should all just speak about it. I'm not saying the US did it. No one knows. A lot of people also suspect Sweden, But the reason why the US is number one on the suspect list is because they have so much to gain from it, and they would have the means. Boat, or a yacht rather, was rented out somewhere around Germany, but somewhere in Europe close by to the pipes, and was driven out to where the pipes were. Apparently 11 people were there. They went down and blew it up, but a lot of things don't make too much sense because these pipes are huge and you would have needed a lot of equipment to blow up those pipes. We're not just talking about normal PVC toilet pipes here. We're talking about like large pipes that transport large amounts of natural gas across hundreds of kilometers. So these are not pipes to be played with, and the equipment needed, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to say that you could transport them over or transport them on a yacht. It just feels too strange. But anyway, I'm not a private investigator. Whatever they choose to release to us and tell us about, they will tell us about, and I will report that to you. For now, let's just sit, wait, and see what happens. But I do think it's very, very strange. So let's see what happens. Hopefully the price of natural gas does not go up for this reason. So let's just wait and see what happens. And let's go into some, maybe not good, but better news, better than bad news, or better than scarier news. Load shedding. There's something that's being implemented by Eskom. It's pretty new. It's pretty strange. It's called load limiting. So essentially, we all know what load shedding is. It's a problem. So what they plan to do is let consumers of electricity with smart meters. So I'm not sure if you need a smart meter, or I don't even know what a smart meter is. Is it just the normal meters that we know, or is it some kind of touchscreen meter? I'm not sure what it is. Anyways, you might need a smart meter so that you can manage your consumption and avoid being switched off completely. So this is what they're going to do. An hour before your load shedding, you'll just see on your schedule with the smart meter, maybe you get an app or you get some kind of message. I'm not sure how it works completely because I've never seen it face to face. So maybe on the smart meter or maybe on a phone, you're going to get a prompt that says there's an hour to load shedding. Now, if you don't decrease your consumption for up to 10 amps, so from that hour until the end of load shedding, you have to use up a total of 10 amps. Now, if you use more than that, let's say if you use more than that in the hour before load shedding begins, you will go through the whole load shedding, the whole 2 hours of load shedding. Now, let's say you get this warning message, and then in the middle of load shedding, as soon as you go over 10 amps, you will enter load shedding up until the end of load shedding. I hope that makes sense. It's still very new. I'm still not 100% sure on how it works because it only just started on Friday, 23 June, and it's only been implemented in Fourways. So it's still very, very new. I'm not 100% sure on how it works myself. This is a better alternative, complete load shedding where everything's off for 2 hours. So maybe while there's load shedding, you guys can switch off your geyser, switch off lights, stoves, just leave your TV. That would be better, right? Than a whole 2 hours of no electricity. So yeah, I hope this makes sense. So just know that when you cook, like maybe 2 hours before load shedding, you will enter load shedding, which is also kind of annoying, but you know what, it's better, I guess, in some instances. So tell me what you guys think of this. Is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Do we need a better idea? For now, I'm very on the fence about it, but I just know that it's better than the whole complete 2 hours of no electricity with you having no say in the matter. At least with this, you have some power, excuse the pun, you have some power in having power. Now, with all of that being said, Mensa, please have a lovely day and have a lovely rest of your week. You will be hearing from me next week, and Do not forget to vote for me for Mr. South Africa. I'm still in the race, man. So, we're still going strong. We're not giving up now. We're still pushing. Let's just do what needs to be done and let's go. With all of that being said, this has been Lefataleni signing out.